have to look within to win. And what I mean by that is, you have to look within and develop those core common principles and values that you have. And when you do that, just taking one step each day to be the best version of yourself within that. And as you're doing that, organically what happens is organically you eliminate the distractions. Organically you put yourself around great people that help you stay on that path that you want to be on. Organically you allow yourself to say no to some things because it allows you to say yes to the things that are important to you. And so it just starts with understanding what your core common principles, what your values are. And
what are your values?
That's a good one right there. Get ready.
All right, y'all, I'm here with my good friend Chip Baker, who came all the way out this way. We're hanging out in my home here in Heath, Texas. So I'm glad you tuned in. I want you to know this man. He's got a heart of gold. I've known him for a few years, and we're just going to dig in and ask a few questions. So Chip, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell me what you are up to.
Lots, Amberly.
We haven't caught up in a while. We've seen each other at John's event, John Gordon's event, but I want to catch up with you and see what you are up to.
Yeah, so lots. First off, I tell people I'm two E words. I'm excited and I'm exhausted.
I feel you.
Because I have a lot of great things going on, but I wouldn't have it any other way, right? So I am Chip Baker, fourth generation educator, teacher, former coach. I'm in my 26th year of education. Coached for 20 of those years, was a head coach, athletic director. Blessed and fortunate to do some great things on that end. About 8 years ago, started my YouTube channel and podcast, The Success Chronicles. And what I do is I just interview people from all walks of life and share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation. Started writing books about 6 years ago. And that journey has really been neat for me.
Yeah.
Where I'm from a small hometown in Texas, raised by a single parent mom. And, where I'm from, I didn't grow up around people that wrote books.
I feel you on that. When I wrote my book, people were like, what?
Yeah.
You're the fitness girl.
Yeah,
like, you need to stick to the fitness. Is that what you kind of experienced when you told people you wanted to write a book?
Well, I didn't.
Or you were going to write a book?
I mean, I didn't even hear all the other stuff of what other people thought because I was just so surprised myself.
Really?
So I was just deeply involved in that and just enjoying the moments. But it's been great, and so here we are, 6 years later, just published my 22nd book. Right.
Your 22nd
Been a part of a published 22 books, and it's been.
I didn't know it was that many.
Yeah.
You're like right on the tail, like you're catching up to John Gordon.
I'll have a story about that I'm gonna share with you later sometime.
Okay.
But sometime like with the comparison thing, how we look at, but man, like having one book is great. Like I
one book is hard, and that's why it took me like 5 years to write my second. Well, it's my third. I had a compilation book, which I don't really count. That's I've got two of those where I'm in chapters of books.
Yeah.
So if I'm saying the books that I've actually written parts of too, but my first book, I think I had PTSD, and I waited this many years to do my next book. It's a lot. How did you do that many books?
It is a lot. And so a few of those, I have the Impact of Influence book series, and it's a compilation, and we've done 10. Actually, Amy and Julie were in volume 3 of that. And so I want to send out a shout out to Amy P. Kelly, Julie Nee, a part of the John Gordon team, great ladies.
And they're a part of the Unstoppable Life Mastermind too. Just
that's that plug.
Oh. That's the plug.
That's the plug right there. but it's been awesome. Like it's really, truly far surpassed anything that I ever thought it would be. And when we talked earlier, we talked about quality relationships. When I heard this from one of my former pastors, so I'm gonna share this. said that life moves at the speed of our relationships.
That's good.
Oh man, when I heard it, it gave me chills.
That's really good.
It's so true. I mean, those people that are doing amazing things have great relationships.
Oh, yeah. It changes everything.
Yep. And those people that are struggling a little bit need better relationships. So that's just kind of where I am now. Just striving to learn and grow each day and be the best version of myself so that I can give the best version of myself to others.
What would you suggest for somebody to do who's like, well, yeah, I know my circle needs to be edited or audited. I need better relationships. How do they go about making better decisions, better relationships?
Really, it just starts with one decision, one step at a time. We talked earlier, you're talking about, like your gut, trust your gut. There's signs, you can see signs of things, and you have to, that's good. You have to look within to win.
Oh, that's good.
And what I mean by that is, you have to look within and develop those core common principles and values that you have. And when you do that, just taking one step each day to be the best version of yourself within that. And as you're doing that, organically what happens is organically you eliminate the distractions. Organically you put yourself around great people that help you stay on that path that you want to be on. Organically you allow yourself to say no to some things because it allows you to say yes to the things that are important to you. And so it just starts with understanding what your core common principles, what your values are. And
what are your values?
That's a good one right there. Get ready. All right, so I believe it's important for me to just work hard, do right, treat people right, put yourself around good people. And so it don't matter rain, shine, snow, whatever. I'm gonna do that. Right, regardless, I'm gonna do those things every moment of every day. And so, if I'm in environments where that doesn't align with me, then I'm gonna put myself in a different environment. And so I think that helps.
Yeah, ever since I've known you, there's just been a connection.
Yeah.
I guess the way I could describe it is it just feels like home. It feels safe. It feels like. Yeah, we're friends. We're on the same team.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
I felt that too. I think I'll go deeper with you on that too. I think where I'm from, they would always say, "Man, he good people." And so for you, I look at you like you good people.
That's how I look at you.
Right, and so I think it's certain mindsets, but more so heart set, right? When you do things from just helping people out type of place, when you do things to give service and not looking to take advantage of anyone, just seeing how I can add value to any situation. I think that that's what I get from you, and so I think that's why there is that, because I strive to do that as well in my life.
I think it's so important. Where has with all your books, where has that book journey taken you, and what's the best thing that's come from writing all these books?
Well, the book journey has gotten me here, like literally here on this platform interviewing with you. Like literally, like the whole, connecting with some of the people that's got me to here that you are connected with, which allowed us to connect, quality relationships. Life moves at the speed of our relationships. And then the second piece of that is, I think it's taught me so many things. I believe that there's blessings in every lesson, right? I believe that it shows you that big things are possible. It has allowed me to be humble and hungry. And what I mean by that is, I told you, kind of my background, where I came from. So it allows me to continue to remain humble, because I know what it's been, right? But then also it allows me to be hungry right?
Yeah,
It's
I like
different.
that.
Like not HUNGRY. It was like with 4 O's. Hungry.
I like that.
Right. So it allows me to be hungry to strive to work to do bigger and better things because I've shown myself that it's possible to do those things.
Well, how does somebody stay hungry?
I think.
Like, how do you tap into that? Are there ever times where you're just like, man, the exhaustion's kicking my butt, or I'm starting to feel burnout, or any, like, how do you keep that fire burning?
Prime example is us being here today, and you don't know this, but I've had a long week, work, speak in the evenings, do a speaker series at the community college where I'm at. So doing that, involved in lots. Son's birthday, traveled, drove a while to get here. Connected with someone earlier today, interviewing, meeting with you today, and then driving home and doing a book signing tomorrow. In the morning. So behind all of that is my why.
That's powerful.
Yeah, why do you do what you do? Right? And the reason I do what I do is because I'm a product of a whole lot of people loving me. Right? I know that I'm not here solely alone. Like no significant success is achieved alone. And I know that, and I know what it feels like to have people to pour into you, give, help you, mentor you, guide you, say, hey, man, when I went this way, I went right and it was bad for me. Hey, you don't do that, you go left.
Yeah.
So I've had people in my life to do that. And so now I'm just striving to give my why, which is why I do what I do. I'm just striving to give that because I know what it feels like to receive that.
Yeah. You know what? You and I are so much alike. I remember when I first started on social media, I had like 12 followers. And I would get excited if one person liked my post. I was like, oh, somebody saw it and they actually liked it. And they're horrible posts, by the way. I didn't know what I was doing, trying to figure it out.
Growth is amazing, right?
And when I had written my first book, they said, the publisher was like, well, we don't market this. If you want it out there, you're going to have to market it yourself. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to figure out social media. And I got on social media. And as my social media started to grow, my husband was like, honey, you can't keep commenting back to these people and commenting on their posts. And I was like, I'm going to do the best I can to do that because I know how it feels when I felt so like nobody knew who I was, and they still don't. But maybe you do.
I know that life.
You know?
Yeah, I know that life.
But when somebody would, comment on my post or comment back to me on their post. Because
they don't have to do that.
They don't have to do that. And I know how that feels. And so I do my best because I know how that feels. And so that's why I do it, So I love that you're that way too. So you have a book signing tomorrow.
Yes.
And where's that going to be?
Well, it's going to be in Houston at Papacito's
Cantina.
I love Papacito's. Yeah, that's the spot. So in the Woodlands area, we're doing that, and so I'm partnering with my guys. You're all about family and team and helping everybody grow. So I'm doing it with 3 of my other co-authors that have been in the Impact of Influence series. Just great guys: Charles Woods, Darius Bradley Sr., and Chris Holmes. And so since day one.
Oh, I saw you just posted something about. Yeah, you just posted it.
Yeah, like on the way over here.
Yeah, I saw. I was like, what is this? Yeah. And so, I haven't even had a chance to comment on it yet because you were at the door.
Yeah, right. I was posting. I was walking up to the door. I was posting it. I just, those guys have been with me, rocking with me, supporting me since day one. They've been in several volumes of the Impact of Influence, and so now they all have books. A couple of them have multiple books, and so we're doing a combined book signing.
That's just awesome. It's more fun when you get to do it with others, isn't it?
For sure.
Yeah. Well, how does somebody get to do a book with you?
Reach out.
How do they reach out to you?
Yeah. So my social media is at Chip Baker TSC. All of my social media is that except for X, and it's Chip Baker 19, and I'm on all platforms, whatever the platform of your liking is.
Yeah.
I'm there. I don't want it to be any excuse for you not to get this positive inspiration and motivation.
Yeah. So they can find your books there. They can maybe
links
reach
are
out
there.
to you and say, hey, Chip, I want to do a book. How do I do it?
Yep,
Now, do
yep.
you coach people how to do the book?
So the cool thing is, again, going back to the relationships, if there's something that I can't help you with, I can find someone that will help you.
Yeah.
And that's how I operate. I can only share my experiences. It's not, for me, it's not authentic to say, hey, well, try this, and I haven't done that. I'm not going to do that to everyone. But, I'm blessed to have some great people in my life that are doing some really neat things. And so if I can't figure it out, or if I don't know it or have experienced it, I definitely know someone that can help you get what you want to get.
Yeah, you are highly connected.
Yeah.
How important do you think it is to get in the right rooms, to go to conferences, to go to those things? Oh,
man.
Man.
It's getting in the right room is so important.
It's life-changing.
So two things. First off, it's life-changing to change lives. And what I mean by that is, when you strive to just take a step to serve and help others, what happens is you're striving to help others, but what happens on that journey, you figure out some things and your life has changed too, right? And then the second thing is your ROI determines your ROI. Ooh, hold on, let me give you that.
I know, I was like, what? Tell me this. Explain this a little bit.
Let me give you that one again. Your ROI determines your ROI. And so, return on investment, right? But what I believe is that your radar of influence determines your return on your investment. And inversely, your return on your investment determines your radar of influence.
Oh, if I had a mic, I would do a mic drop right now.
Drop it on them. And the reason I say that is because you asked about the rooms, right? So when I look at like the journey of my life, was raised in a small town with a single parent mother, right? Father was in my life, but from afar. Had an opportunity to go play college ball, 9-hour drive away from where I was from.
Really?
Right. So what I knew first is my intimate circle in my hometown and how it was. Great people that teach me a lot. But if I didn't step out and get into that other radar, right, radar of influence, if I didn't step out into that, then now I go to college and I meet some amazing people, great coaches, great teammates that are like brothers. We still talk and text every day.
Wow.
Now, and so now, that's another radar, and because I took that step, I got better, right? Then I graduated from college, and I went into a career of education. I stepped out, moved away from there to a different place where I knew no one, right? And so now it's another radar of influence, right? And so and it's continued to grow like that, being in the podcasting space, being in the book space, and so. As I've grown, because I've invested in that and stretched myself, gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's important.
Right? Because I've done that, my return on my investment has been amazing.
Well, what would you say to somebody who is scared to be uncomfortable? They're not ready. They're comfy.
Yeah.
They want to sit on the couch and watch Netflix, and they are not ready to get out of, in a different radar. How would you encourage somebody to step out of their comfort zone?
I think first, I would say, because it's uncomfortable, right? Like it's different, right? But I believe that on the other side of that uncomfort is your maximum growth. Let me give them that one again.
Yeah.
On the other side of your uncomfort is your maximum growth. And so we just have to stretch ourselves, push ourselves, and go get it. You might have heard that before.
Oh, well, I say get her done.
Yeah.
Get her done.
That's
Get her
it.
done.
Yeah.
And, I think it's important. Sometimes we just need somebody for me anyway, I needed somebody to believe in me before I could believe in myself.
Yeah.
Because even when I wrote my book, I was scared to death, my
Yep.
first book. And I remember I went and took a class by Jack Grapes. He was supposedly, and he is an incredible teacher, but he was teaching in LA. And I couldn't make the like beginner class because of work and kids stuff. And so he said, well, you can come to the advanced class on Wednesdays. And I went and took the class, and I was scared to death. Talk about being uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you said earlier, I remembered my why. And I was like, you know what? All of this could not have happened to me for no reason. If I can inspire one person and give one person hope, then I'm going to do it. So I stepped into a class there were published authors, screenplay writers,
Yeah,
published
yeah.
poets, and then there was me. And he changed my life because we had an assignment and we had to read it in front of class. And after I read, he said, Amberly, you will write a book. And the belief that he poured in me, because I was just like, and I was crying. I was like, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it helped me. All I needed was that little bit of belief, that little bit of encouragement, and sometimes that's all we need. And I feel like that's what you do for other people. Is you are such.
I strive to do that for sure.
You're an encourager.
Yeah.
Whether it's through what you say or through your books or your podcast, it's just amazing.
Thank you so much.
It really. What's next? You've got your book, but what's next for 2025? What's the big goal?
Well, for me, just having continued growth, continuing to find ways to serve, continuing to find ways to help others, but, doing that by striving to be the best version of myself, again, so I can give the best version of myself to others. And so there's lots, I have some books coming up, some books that are intentionally written to do professional developments from those and speak from. So I'm really excited about that. That journey, really going to target, business leaders, coaches, educational leaders as well, just to help them be better.
Well, I mean, I could talk to you all day. Well, I just could hang out with you all day.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to have you back on when you have your other new books.
Yeah, please.
Books, when you're on number 40. But,
hope.
My
Thanks.
goodness, that's amazing. Have so much fun at your book signing. Tell everybody one more time where they can find you and your books.
Yeah, so all of my social media is at Chip Baker TSC. And except for X, and X is at Chip Baker 19. So thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. And I'm still getting used to X. Like I'm still, I'm hardly ever
this is
on
probably,
X.
Like out of all of the interviews, this is probably the second time I actually said X. And not
Yeah.
So I'm getting better.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get up to speed. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to the Amberly Lago Show. And take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram and tag us. When I see that, I share it too. It makes me so happy. And don't forget to subscribe to the show so you don't miss next week. I'll see you next week. And thank you again for tuning in.